So Todd's talking about putting your plan together. The questions you're going to ask people. What are they going to ask you, and how are you going to answer that? I put the word up here, icon, because icon is a sign of the times. Icon is a symbol. It's a place that links you directly to where you want to go. It's something that people automatically recognize and either find their way to the washroom, they're able to link into the right place they need to go, they know whether the symbol is friendly or unfriendly. The icon of who you are, your brand. What is your brand that you're sending out there? Now, if I look at marketing from the perspective of marketing a company, and regardless if you're going to own a company or you're going to market yourself to get a job or you're looking to get ahead in business, what's your brand? What are you saying about your icon? If someone looks at you, can they tell in about 5 questions or just by looking at you what you stand for? What are some of the things that would be important? So, say for example, I'll give you a little example about myself. I started as a banker, believe it or not, and then I ended up an artist, and then I ended up going into advertising, and then I owned an advertising agency for the last 18 years. But that part of me that was an artist, which was my passion and my core, and I just had to be an artist, and I still am, didn't serve me well when I was presenting a marketing campaign to perhaps a board table of bankers. So to go in looking funky with kind of curly hair and really excited about what I was presenting, I knew my stuff, I had done my homework, I had been everywhere I needed to be, I did brilliant creative, but when I stood there, what was I missing? They looked at me immediately and maybe thought, pretty artsy girl, but we wonder, how much is she in keeping with what we're doing? Over the course of the 18 years, now this was in the first part of my career, I quickly realized that I am my icon, and each one of you are your own icons. So if you are looking at who you are, and if you were a company, I'd say to you, you need 5 key messages. You're out there asking these questions to people you meet because you want to network with them. You're saying to them, what do you like? What do you do? How do you think about this? What happens when they ask you questions back? Do you have your 5 questions of what you stand for? What are your values? What's important to you? When you walk into the room, does your brand say, I got up early, I'm not walking in here late, I had the time and the foresight to get dressed appropriately, to have the right package in my hand when I walked in. I have my pen with me. I'm ready to hear what you have to say. I'm alert and I'm present. I'm here now. Are you saying, having a brand doesn't mean you have to have an icon that stands out there that people don't understand. It can have a human element to it. Is part of your brand that you're involved in community? Is part of your brand that you're part of a network that links with other people and that you're known for forming strategic alliances or forming places where you can reach out and help other people? Someone mentioned here that they were interested in the not-for-profit sector. Well, if you're interested in getting involved with the not-for-profit sector, one of the best things to do is to get involved in it from a committee, a membership position. And in my case, I thought, you know what? I have to go and present to boards. And I'm asking them to consider doing marketing of their not-for-profit agencies. I better understand what's important to them. So I got on boards. I got on committees. I knew how important every decision they made was, and that when they were looking at what I was presenting, I knew how they were looking at it. So it gave me an advantage of having a better relationship with them. It's all about getting to know who you're working with. But if part of your brand is that you're community driven, that people can know who you are and know where you've been involved, that you're connected, you're committed, you show up for the meetings, that all builds a part of your brand. So find 5 things. Write them down. Write down what it is I stand for. Is it community? Is it if it's getting ahead or becoming or learning or becoming knowledgeable or finding alliances, then prove it. Get out there and do it. But write those 5 things down and say them to yourself and then think. Could I answer anything anyone asked me from one of these places? If somebody asked me my involvement in something, could I put it against those 5 questions, and would it hold the test of time and say, yes, that's what she stands for? The reason for this is because when other people are out there talking about you, at the end of the day, people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust, period. Regardless of the sector you're in, whether it's automotive, whether it's education, whether it's accounting, if people don't feel they know you and can trust you, they aren't going to do business with you. They aren't going to promote you. They aren't going to put you forward in front or refer you to anyone else. So know who you are so that you can communicate that out to them, and be sure of what that stands for. So write your 5 things down and look at them daily and measure it up to when you're up against a challenge and say, what would be important to me in this case? And is this a part of what my icon is? So when you see the Nike swish or swoosh, or you see someone's words that stand for who they are, that image should represent, when you look at you, what you are. Can we go the next? Thanks. What is that message? What is the message that you're sending? So those 5 things then should be crafted into a message. And make it a commitment to yourself. Set it up in your goals that Therese and Todd are talking about when you're looking at setting up your career or your next job or your opportunity of what you could go forward with. How can you position yourself differently to get to where you want to go? Okay, the next, please. So your mission. Now you're out there and you're deciding where you're going to be. How are you going to find out about where it is that you want to be? Are you going to do the research? And if you're doing the research, how does that measure up? Where is there opportunities? So if you're thinking creatively about what best matches with you, and if you're doing what you like, it's going to show. So when you're getting involved in anything that you're doing that's going to support your brand or your icon, is it something you're passionate about and that you enjoy? So some of you are in transition because you have to be, because there's changing times, and some of them are because maybe you're looking at changing where the world is. And I agree, don't look at where we are right now as a place that it ends up being that there's not opportunity. For me, I look at what's going on right now, and 18 years ago when I started, companies, individuals, service industries that I worked with, I had to do somersaults to convince them to work together. In that frame of mind, everyone, including not-for-profits or people who had marketing budgets, they held it really close to themselves, and they didn't want to share their information with anyone else. They didn't